Yeah, I mean, we beat last year's total, which is impressive with these two cleanups.
Hey there everyone, welcome back to another video on Filmmania. Parker Schnabel, with the help of his grandfather, has been best at mining, and since he has been on it, there have been some breakthroughs in the show. Parker, alongside his team of miners, has managed to reach new levels, and today we're going to talk about 6 of the many most successes and weigh-ins. Before we begin, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so that you don't miss out. Number 6, $150,000. Mining can be pretty tough and difficult at times, but Parker has always been the one to take challenges, as he had learned from his grandfather. In one of the episodes, there occurred a huge problem as the pumps weren't sucking up a lot of water, which also meant that the miners weren't getting the gold that they had aimed for. This had Parker and the team all worried, but when the amount of gold that was mined was weighed, it turned out to be 126¼ ounces, which were indeed a lot more than they had expected. The gold was enough to get them over 150 grand, which indeed is a huge amount, and so it made it to the Parker's most famous weigh-ins.
Over $150,000, a quarter of the cost of the wash plant.
Number 5, $120,000. As we have talked about before, when it comes to mining things, it isn't easy. In another episode of Gold Rush, a major problem arises while the team is mining. There was excessive water pumping through the suction pumps, which made more water run into the machine along with heavy rocks. Not only that, but it also made 40 ounces of gold rush away with it. The rocks coming along with the water made the lower deck of the machinery fall off as well. But no matter how major the problem was, the team still managed to procure 103.7 ounces of gold, which meant over 120 grand. So it wasn't as terrible a day as the team thought it would be.
Not terrible for the problems we were having, no. I mean, it's our worst one yet, but
we did lose some time.
Number 4, $4 million. In one of the later episodes, Parker faces a bundle of problems which include him snapping the high-pressure air hose of the trailer. He wasn't even near getting over to the damage when one of the team members approached him, telling him he went back too far in the pit and now the machine was stuck. That indeed worried him, but he managed to arrange something that could get them through this cleanup. But another test was thrown at him. The creek cut had overnight flooded, which could have caused a lot of loss to the team, but luckily it did not, and the team managed to clean a whopping 3,375 ounces of gold, which means $4 million for the whole season. Parker had beaten his record for last year.
yeah, I mean, we beat last year's total, which is impressive with these two cleanups.
Number 3, $5 million. A new day means a new set of problems. In one of the other episodes, when it was freezing out there in the mining area, Parker was welcomed with a frozen machine. Since the temperature at the time was -15, the water running through it had frozen, which meant trouble. Yet the team had managed to dig out 335 ounces of gold, which meant a great total, which was around $250,000. Parker had indeed gone ahead of his rival and reached a total of 4,311 ounces of gold, which makes a whopping total of over $5 million for the season.
Yeah. 264.5.
Number 2, $750,000. The hard work of hours and hours has always helped Parker with the mining, and not only that, but with pulling through all the problems as well. In one of the season's episodes, Parker and his team had made it possible to mine a massive total of 617 ounces of gold, and that too in 1 week made him reach a grand total of nearly $750,000. This new total weigh-in had almost broken Parker's old record, which was 618 in a week. This was indeed one of the most successful weigh-ins of Gold Rush and brought home a lot of money.
350?
350.35.
Wow.
Number 1, $9 million. After 2 weeks of straight mining and putting in hours and hours, the team had managed to reach their goal for the season, which was 7,000 ounces of gold. With the help and efforts of all the miners, they had not just mined the aimed ounces of gold, but they are exceeding it with 400 ounces. And no matter the huge disasters, they procured 7,400 ounces of gold in the season, which adds on to make a total of nearly $9 million. If that's not a massive cleanup, then we don't know what is.
59.8 ounces.
Worth over $1 million.
So these were some of the most famous and memorable weigh-ins from the show Gold Rush, and indeed brought in the maximum amount of money for the Parker and the crew.